Now let's bring in Jermont Terry. He's now at Christ Hospital in Oak Lawn. It's just one of many hospitals where victims are being treated. Jermont.
Brad, we have multiple victims that were brought here to Christ Hospital, and tonight family members of those victims are gathering outside the hospital waiting on word on their loved ones. As you mentioned, many of those victims, the others, they were brought to a total of 5 different hospitals, many taken by ambulance and others simply walked into the ER with gunshot wounds. Now, this mass shooting caught many off guard, especially those leaving the funeral home. The investigation shows several people in a black vehicle waited outside for mourners to exit, and when they left the funeral home, those in the vehicle opened fire. Chicago police telling us those attending the funeral then returned fire, resulting in a Wild West shootout along 79th Street. Police telling us at least 60 shots fired, and those victims all adults. But one thing police can't say about the 14 victims is this.
Right now it's unknown if anyone was not a part of the funeral or a part of the vehicle. So out of the 14 victims, it's unknown right now if there were any innocent bystanders, so to speak. There is a car that was assigned for the funeral.
Why was that?
That was assigned by the district commander, just as a precaution, because of the size of the funeral.
Could they have done?
So you heard police say that they had a squad car outside of that funeral home. It is very likely that the officers in that vehicle possibly witnessed the shootout. We are hearing that this could have been gang related. Chicago police not confirming that part tonight, but we can tell you that none of the victims of the 14 are children. That is at least some good news that we can pass on here tonight. Those victims recovering not only here at Christ, at St. Bernard, Little Company of Mary, Stroger, and U of C. Now, as you might know, this shooting, this mass shooting here in Chicago comes on the heels of President Trump offering federal agents to come in and help deal with all of this violence. Reporting live at Christ Hospital in Oak Lawn tonight, Jermont Terry, CBS 2 News.
All right, and sources tell me those feds are in town as we speak. Jermont, thank you.
Just moments after the shooting, this is what the first calls for help sounded like as police rushed to the scene.
We got multiple shooters running eastbound from 79th and Carpenter. So we got multiple people shot. We got the ambulance rolling.
All on foot. They're not going to make it past the station. So be advised, there's to be somewhere else by like Morgan.
Any units that's coming from towards the station, I need some more units that way, guys. We got multiple shooters running. They're all on foot.
We tracked rising violence in the area of tonight's shooting. Before tonight, there had been 132 shootings so far this year compared to 100 at this time last year. That's a 32% increase, and that is again before tonight. Now let's take a look citywide, the 30,000-foot perspective. Numbers up across the board. So far, 417 murders in 2020 compared to 275 over the same time period last year. The spike in shootings also stark. 1,654 this year compared to 1,125 by this time in 2019. And then there are the young victims. 6 children between the ages of 1 and 4 murdered so far in 2020, double compared to the same time last year. As we take another live look from the scene now, we continue to update you during our show tonight. We will have at least one more update, and we will continue to have live updates on our streaming service, CBSN Chicago.